central to your being. Turn on, it's a pleasure device. Game with me, ultimate spice.
Hey everyone, this is Kent, and if you watched my stream tonight, then you would know I beat Dracula 2. And, so I've already started on Dracula 3, The Path of the Dragon. I may have mentioned this in the past, but Dracula 3 is my favorite from the Dracula series. So, with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and finish what we started from the stream earlier. You can view, you should be able to view the past broadcast on my live stream, my YouTube live. So it should be uploaded to YouTube, or you can go to my Twitch, and the link should be in the description below. So anyways, let's pick up where we left off. Continue game. Now, I actually have a notebook here, so I can write down the names of any books or anything, because some of the books and everything in here is actually referenced and real. So let's see here, Alright.
Go right ahead. The telephone is in the next room. When you realize...
Okay.
I can't borrow this without permission.
Alright, so I want to call the Inspector
This is
Brutal.
Inspector Brutal.
I belong to the Sacred Congregation of Rites. I've come to Vladoviste to investigate the case of Martha Caligaro in view of her eventual canonization.
Martha Caligaro. I remember her well. Always bothering my men with unbelievable stories and groundless complaints. She wasn't a bad woman, but she had a screw loose.
I'll note your opinion. Inspector, I'm calling because my investigation has revealed several suspicious deaths, which all occurred in Vladoviste. They could very well be murders.
Give me the names of the supposed victims.
Marian Marescu, dead in October 1913. Seldrick Maliskal in July 1916.
Now, here's an interesting
and
note.
an unidentified young girl who died in
tell you
November
after.
1919.
I see exactly what you're talking about. Wasn't it a certain Stefan Luca who transmitted this information to you?
Well, that is...
Of course it's him. Don't believe anything he tells you. He's just been fired by his newspaper. He's just a troublemaker. Father Moriani, I have to warn you. Our country is currently in the grip of a certain agitation. And the Catholic minority isn't viewed very positively by certain political groups. So, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't prolong my visit to Transylvania.
Thank you for your advice, but you understand that I can't leave without carrying out my mission. Goodbye, Inspector. The police think that Martha was mad. Her case doesn't look good, but it's out of the question for me to close the file without digging deeper. Let's go back to the journalist to question him.
Okay, interesting note. Some of the people's names mentioned, I believe Marescu is one of them, I'll have to double check, are actually based on real people, like, that deal with Vlad the Impaler's family, so feel free to look up the names, feel free to talk about it, because this is the history behind Dracula and Vlad the Impaler. Alright, so we've learned that the inspector thinks that Martha is mad. So now we're just gonna
It was a shocking experience. Okay, I'm putting some hive. I'm putting my hive stuff.
let's see. In the disc version of the game, you can actually read these and learn something about them in each year that's actually based on truth. But I guess that's one of the things that Steam has removed. Okay. So we are gonna go back over here.
Good. Did you call the police? Are you convinced that they won't do a thing? Then we can go on to serious matters. Read these 2 letters and tell me what you think of them.
Vampires, hosts. My lord, I must elucidate this sorry affair. Let's subject Stefan Luca to some methodical questioning.
Stefan, so your article was rejected. Thank you for your courageous attempt. Alas, I see now that we must find a different solution. I will speak to you about it in person to answer your question. Please know that I was never interested in vampire legends prior to my arrival in Vladoviste. When little Cedric was at his worst, it was our friend G who helped me implement the traditional measures, the garlic, and the protective circle. I noticed an improvement until that fateful night when I found the window open, the crumbs of host dispersed by the wind, and the child dead in his bed. How could I, after that, harbor the slightest doubt about the enemy we are fighting? Best wishes, Martha. The next one. Dear friend, I thought after our last conversation, where then is the beast hiding? It has certainly changed its layers since the war. Even if I knew where it was, I would avoid approaching it directly because it keeps on its guards. There is still the path of the dragon left. I am convinced that it will lead me to my goal. I know that you and G do not approve my intentions. No doubt there is danger, but the life is not so precious as to prevent me from risking it for a good cause. I have carefully read the ancient text regarding our enemy. A few clues lead me to believe that the path begins in Turkey. I plan to go there soon to look for the traces of the dragon. P.S. Upon my return, I will hand to you the file that I put together on the path of the dragon. If something should happen to me, you will find it in my case. To find the key, carefully observe the order of the paintings on the wall. The paintings? Oh. Alright.
The letters you showed me raise a lot of questions. First of all, what exactly does the term vampire signify?
Vampire, Wampir, Upir, Upir, Brucolacus for the Greeks. Do these words really evoke nothing for you?
To tell you the truth, they do. I seem to recall reading something about these, creatures. So, if I understand right, Martha tried to drive them back with a communion host ground into a powder?
That's right. With the crumbs from the host, she drew a protective circle.
Tell me, was the host consecrated?
I suppose so.
Did Father Gregoriou know that this sort of activity was going on in his parish?
The best would be for you to ask him the question.
Okay.
That's the frightful reality.
And why don't the residents do something to rid themselves of a curse like that?
Because they're resigned and submissive. To vanquish evil, you have to be strong. She wasn't that old.
Overwork, perhaps?
Come on, she was in perfect health. Just before she died, she was still hiking in the mountains. Yes, we chatted over a glass of Suica, our local prune brandy. Janos is a great lad, very cultured, but he has a rare lack of imagination.
I have to question Father Gregoriou about this sinister story of vampires.
Okay, so now we are going to go back to the phone. Now, keep in mind, we are on Vladoviste Day 2.
Greenleaf Rest Home, good day.
Could I speak to Father Grigoriu Nigescu, please? This is Father Arno Moriani.
One moment, I'll see.
This is Father Gregorio Nigescu.
Hello, this is Father Arno Moriani. Father, I have to discuss a very delicate subject with you. Please answer my questions very precisely. It's important. Do you know Stefan Luca?
He's a journalist, a friend of Martha's. They developed photographs together.
According to Stefan Luca, Martha Caligaro believed in vampires and engaged in strange rituals.
It's true. And before you ask the question, yes, I helped her.
You do know the position of the church on this subject, don't you?
I know it. And I don't doubt that it's a very reasonable position when you think about the question, seated in an office in Rome. But in Vladoviste, the situation is different.
Do you want me to tell you how things happened?
Unfortunately not. 2 nights later, the window opened mysteriously, and the wind blew away the protective circle. Martha found the child dead, with wounds on his neck. It's very likely. I knew she was threatened. I'd offered her a dog to protect her. Now that seems to me to have been laughable. As if a dog could have stopped the enemy she was confronting.
Do you think that enemy was a vampire? A supernatural creature?
An emanation of the devil. If you'd lived a few years in Vladoviste, you wouldn't doubt it. Martha spoke to me of it. It's a sort of accursed way of the cross, which leads to the source of evil. She embarked upon it against my advice. I wanted to protect her. Oh, I was wrong.
Why is that?
She died fighting. I fled. Today, it is she who has the good part.
Thank you for your frankness, Father. Of course, you realize that after your revelations, Martha will never be canonized.
Yes, of course. What does it matter if she rests in peace?
Another thing, if a direct question is asked, I shall be forced to evoke your part in this business.
So be it. But you should know that my only regret is not to have helped Martha more. In the end, I slipped away. It was cowardly of me.
The Lord is our only judge. I have no wish to condemn you.
Alright, so now we are going to try to call Monsignor.
This is Cardinal Felicio Briganti.
This is Father Arno Moriani.
How is your investigation going?
A journalist friend of Martha Caligaro has a strange story to tell. He maintains she was assassinated by a dark power.
What? And what do the police think?
According to them, the reporter is a pathological liar, and Martha wasn't right in the head. As for me, I'm coming to more or less the same conclusions. I have proof that Martha believed in vampires and kept them away with the sacred host.
How could that be? I seem so serious. What a disappointment. As for those vampire stories, tell me, was the parish priest aware of this?
Yes. I suppose that I close the Calugaro file then?
Certainly. And you open another one on vampires.
Excuse me?
You heard me right. Study the legend. Demolish it. Prove that it is not based on reality. We'll give your report widespread distribution.
Yes, but hasn't the church already taken a position on the question?
To be sure, Benedict XIV formally condemned belief in vampires, but that was 2 centuries ago. It's time to bring his message up to date.
What exactly am I to do?
Seek the origins of the myth, but also pay attention to its literary aspects, its recent manifestations. Show that those phenomena that terrorize the naive are either pure fabrication or have explanations that aren't supernatural.
I understand.
And after you've finished your work, make sure you get some rest.
Goodbye, Your Eminence.
Be well, Arno.
Alright.
I can't borrow this without permission.
Hearted Sentry is guarding Alpha.
Alright.
I can't borrow this without permission.
Alright.
Hey, sir!
We're gonna talk to the Gravedigger again.
She was found in the dispensary, lying on her bed, calm, like as if an angel had come to get her. We all wanted her to have a real nice burial, but we had to do something simple, 'cause the funeral parlor's been closed since the war.
I'll leave you. You seem to have a great deal of work.
Well, with all due respect, Father, this here is the corner of the Great Plague. These folks be...
18 seconds. Come on, at least let me get the drill. It's fine. Slow down the timer, slow down the timer. What's wrong with the... 220, 275. That's ridiculous.
sign of who was drained of blood was found. We're gonna turn around. Okay, maybe not.
You know,
You know.
I know one. He's very tall and walks in silence. I saw him through the fog near the tomb of the wild rose and at the crossroads of the broken oak. But it's funny you should ask me that question. Usually grown-ups don't like to talk about those things.
why do you think that's so?
I think the grown-ups are scared.
And you're not scared?
No, Martha protects me.
That there says Cedric. Alright, I guess we are going to go to the Castle of Twilight. Oh. Because remember, Janos Peckmeister offered us to go. But there's something really cool. I'll go ahead and tell y'all this before I go any further. If you go back in history, you would find out that Vlad Tepes also got the name Vlad the Impaler because he impaled his enemies on pikes, right? But now if I look up there, there's nobody. It's kind of creepy, and like the first time I saw that, it kind of freaked me out. I was like, oh well, what the hell? But yeah, it's supposed to kind of portray that. I'm just kind of checking around here real quick. Okay. So this is like supposed to be the field of the fallen soldiers. Ah, there it is. Here in November of 1416, the 4th and 5th Infantry Divisions, the 3rd Mountain Brigade, and a detachment of the Legion of Transylvanian volunteers heroically fought against the troops of the Austro-German coalition. May the blue, yellow, and red, the 3 colors of the Romanian nation, forever fly over this blessed land. This is the field of fallen soldiers. That's actually the Romanian flag and what we just read really happened. Okay? So now we are going to go up here. This here is a gypsy caravan, which means there's a gypsy around here somewhere, or she might show up at some point. See, there's bullet holes in the tree. I'm just kind of checking the ground just to make sure that there's nothing here. So this here does show it shows a man pierced on top of a pole. Now we're gonna just go forward past this wild rose bush. This is the Castle of Twilight.
Hello, Janos. I have a surprise for you. I've just been ordered to conduct an investigation into vampires.
What do you know? Anything can happen. And I was talking about the same subject with Stefan Luca, who just arrived at the inn. He's kind of a fanatic, and firmly believes in the existence of vampires. You should question him.
You're more useful to me because you're a historian. I have several questions to ask you, particularly about Vlad Tepes.
I'd be glad to answer them, but this incomplete sundial irritates me. Could you first help me restore it?
Alright. So, let's...
I'd be glad to answer them, but this incomplete sundial irritates me. Could you first help me restore it?
Okay. There's a... Let's take a look.
This sundial adorned the entrance to the castle. A bullet shattered it, and a piece is still missing. I searched the whole area without finding it. That's especially annoying. Gold with the sable wolf, the personal coat of arms of Vlad Tepes.
Vulnerant omnes, ultima necat. All injure. The last one kills.
That refers to ours, doesn't it?
Yes, which gives us a rather gloomy picture of man's fate.
I know where the other piece is. Let's go and get it. That's that piece in the inn. We're gonna hopefully the innkeeper will.
I can't borrow this without permission.
Okay. Like, there's gotta be a way to get that. I mean, there is. I just talked to her and get it.
This sundial adorned the gold with a sable.
Vulnerant.
That refers to.
Yes, which gives us a... This tree is a Sorbus acuparia, commonly known as the mountain ash or the rowan tree. I already have some. Skeletons.
They were convicts who died of exhaustion while digging the foundation of the castle. They were buried where they fell, probably so their ghost would guard the place.
Skeletons. exposed during the destruction of the ring.
They were convicts. I'd be glad to answer them.
I'm sitting here walking down the sideway.
Okay, we are going to go back to the inn. I can't exactly talk to him anymore until I get what I need. So we're gonna go back to the inn. You know what? Isn't she upstairs? Yeah, she's right there.
Oh, you can. I don't know where it comes from. Some vagabond brought it to me. I gave him a meal in exchange for it. My way of being charitable, I guess.
Perfect.
Dr. Florescu came by. She asked for you to...
Fine, I'll go.
Alright. Now I have permission. There we go. Now let's go and restore it. It's like, it is a perfect puzzle piece.
This sundial adorned the gold with a sable wolf.
Vulnerable.
Shut up.
That refers...
Stop it.
Yes.
Dragon. It's the dynastic emblem of Vlad's family. Where did you find it?
A vagabond gave it to Ozana. Perhaps I should return it to her.
Oh, but its place is here. The person who took it had no right to pillage these ruins.
I must admit, you're right.
Alright.
I already have some.
Okay. We're gonna go back and call Monsignor Briganti. See if there's anything new to tell him or that he tells us.
This is Cardinal Felicio Briganti.
This is Father Arno Moriani.
Your mission is delicate, Arno. It's difficult to accomplish without offending someone. But I have faith in you. You'll know how to act suitably.
Goodbye, Your Eminence.
Be well, Arno.
Stefan Luca is still here.
Hello, Father Arno. What news?
It just so happens that my congregation has ordered me to undertake an inquiry on the vampires.
Inquire? We have to fight!
Suppose they exist. If that's the case, isn't it essential to study them first? Know thy enemy.
Ours is wily and difficult to get at, unless we take the path of the dragon. That was Martha's conviction.
The path of the dragon?
The dragon. The vampire. Dracula. All these names designate our adversary. The path of the dragon leads to his lair. Look at this file that Martha entrusted me with on her return from Turkey. She had established that the path comprised 7 trials. The related documents are sorted in 7 folders.
So that's a painting of Raphael's crucifixion.
Wow.
black and white photo of a painting by the famous Renaissance painter Raphael.
I know that work. It's Raphael's Crucifixion.
Yes, photographed by Martha. According to her, this painting has a connection with the first stage on the Path of the Dragon.
Really? The painting has a hidden meaning?
Martha thought so. She spoke to me of other versions of the same work of art, slightly modified reproductions she examined in private collections. According to her, to understand the hidden message, the original's not enough. It has to be compared to the copies and the variations noted.
Do you have other versions of the painting?
Unfortunately not. Martha gave me this file at the beginning of her research, for she feared her papers would be stolen. Afterwards, we had a falling out, and she didn't transmit anything else to me. I'm certainly lacking some essential pieces.
We're radically changing style, you could say.
This other document is a sketch Martha made of an ancient bas-relief.
The inscription is hard to make out. It vaguely resembles Enochian.
But the drawing is clear. The figure is slashing his veins.
I see the sketch is classified in the first folder with the crucifixion. Is there a connection then between these two documents and the first stage of the path?
For Martha, there was no doubt about it. Here's a sketch of another bas-relief, from the same place as the previous one. Martha associated it with the second trial.
There aren't any other documents? Nothing for the 5 last tests?
They're all I have, and I'm sure that Martha found many others, if I'd only been more conciliatory. Father, we have to follow the path of the dragon. Let's go to Turkey, since Martha went there. Together we'll succeed.
I don't think that my superiors would appreciate that initiative. However, I promise that I'll think about it.
Okay. You know what? I want to talk to Jana real quick again before I leave, just to make sure that she's got nothing else she needs to say to me.
Dr. Florescu came by. She asked...
Fine, I'll go there.
Alright, she doesn't have anything to say. So now we can go to the dispensary. Finally get this blood donation out of the way.
I already have some.
We're gonna...
Thank you for stopping by. I noticed that my blood stocks were really insufficient. Would you let me take a sample of yours?
Certainly. I was a priest medic during the war. I saw many lives saved thanks to transfusions.
Oh, so you're a nurse as well. Then you'll be able to do it yourself. Great. I have to rush off to see a patient on the other side of the village.
Oh, what exactly do I have to do?
Draw your blood and place the bottle in the refrigerated chest. The combination is easy to remember. The date the dispensary was built. They're coming to get me. I have to go. Could you mark your blood type in the analysis reports? And also determine the types of the last 3 donors? I didn't have time to run the tests. Oh yes, and if the phone rings, please answer. See you later.
Okay. So... Alright. And we're in in the treatment room. Let's pick up the medical instruments. Whoops. Wrong one. No, it's supposed to do the medical instruments. Oh, whoops, no. Here.
Somebody really pissed him off. Oh wait, we did.
There we go. Alright.
It's not me, they just keep going. They really catch some of them, but I
It'd be better for me to call from...
Cerberus is a one robot thing.
We're gonna wash hands real quick.
Controlling Cerberus.
Alright. We're gonna go back in here. Where does it go? I'm supposed to set it down.
I've done this hundreds of times to other people, but giving yourself a shot is not the same thing. Be brave, it has to be done. First, disinfect the area where we're injecting the needle.
And in today's headlines, it's supposed to It's like the new guy and the teacher that grabs
Oh. Guess I have to.
Century is up.
There we go.
The ampoule is full. Perfect. Now I have to store the bottle of blood in the refrigerated cabinet. Maria asked me to answer the telephone.
This is Professor Heinrich von Kruger.
Dr. Florescu has gone out. May I take a message?
Please ask him to call me back as soon as possible at Munich 321941.
I'll be sure to do that.
Alright. It is. There we go. Alright, so the 814 is me. Stefan Luca is 813. Janos Peckmester is 812. And Yanel is 811. Maria is type O. Martha was also type O. Okay. Okay, so now we need to type the blood. Alright. So mine and the last 3 donors need to be typed. So, let's wash our hands. We will open the cabinet.
Perfect. I'm sure of my results. Maria should be happy. I've done my work well.
I'm B. Stefan is O. Janos is B. And Yanel is AB. Alright. Okay.
I finished the sample and the tests. Have you been back long?
I should have come help you, shouldn't I?
I was delighted to be of assistance. But now I have to think of my own work.
Of course. I hope your investigation is going well.
It has changed character. As strange as it might seem, I now am ordered to study some supernatural creatures, vampires.
Vampires? Like Dracula?
Dracula?
Don't you know it? It's a wonderful novel. I'll get it for you. Look at this book. It's Dracula by Bram Stoker. Oscar Wilde said it was the most beautiful novel of the century. I was captivated by this novel. And you know the strangest thing? The author used Vlad Tepes as his model for the character of Dracula.
Vlad Tepes? The voivode?
The very same one. The one who used to rule from the Castle of Twilight, whose ruins you must have noticed. Vlad Tepes, nicknamed Dracula.
Yeah, no, she is actually right about that. Vlad Tepes, one of his names was also Vlad Dracul, which meant dragon. Yeah, so that is actually correct. So now we are going to talk to her completely.
I can guess what comes next. He wants me to call back as soon as possible.
You don't really want to, if I'm not mistaken.
Professor Kruger is a great scientist. He worked with Martha and now insists on me continuing her research. But I haven't a research scientist's soul. Anyway, it's too much work.
Now, isn't that a shame?
Oh, please, Father, no sermons. I promise that I'll take it upon myself to finish the analyses he wants from me. Stoker speaks of this voivode Dracula who earned his nickname attacking the Turks beyond the great river at the very border of their country. That clearly signifies Vlad Tepes. That prince spent his youth as a captive of the Turks, Afterwards, he fought them fiercely.
That is correct as well. Like, seriously, this shows you the history behind Vlad Tepes and Dracula and the origins behind Dracula, and that's why I love this game so much.
The word has two meanings, devil or dragon.
That is correct. Like, seriously, go and verify.
Father Arno, I'd be happy if you stayed a while in Vladoviste. The people here are a little rustic, and I greatly appreciate your company.
Okay, now we are going to consult a historian.
Father Arno, I'd be happy if you stayed a while in Vladoviste.
Alright, so now it is time to consult a historian who is an expert on the myth of Dracula. So let's go back up to the castle.
Kill Santa, kill the abominable snowman, have some Easter bunny. You alright over there? See, we're playing The Sims, we're killing you with laughter.
That's a legend forged by his enemies. Stoker was inspired by it to write a very bad novel.
It wasn't a bad novel, it was,
The recognized expert on the subject was Professor Van Bergen.
The great Orientalist. The man who crisscrossed Asia for the English Secret Service?
The very one. At his death, his superb collection was bequeathed to his successor, Professor Irina Buxov. Speak about her to Stefan Luca. I think he has her number.
So Professor Boxoff would be the person to consult?
Without a doubt. She possesses remarkable pieces on the subject you are interested in. A manuscript of a biography of Vlad Tepes, in particular. It's a journey of initiation that some traditions associate with Vlad Tepes. Most likely because Vlad was called Dracula, which means the dragon or the devil. But it's more related to occultism than to history. Professor Buxov will fill you in better than I can. Can you hear? The wolves multiplied during the war. Now that peace has returned, they're hungry.
alright. And now we're gonna go back to the inn and talk to Luca. He has a phone number that we want. Over here.
Martha said it was the only way to discover objects and symbols related to each trial. She added that without that knowledge, it was impossible to attain the end of the path. I went to give blood at the request of Dr. Maria Florescu.
You didn't try to recover any documents?
What's the point in harassing young Maria? I'm sure there's nothing left of Martha's archives. Our enemy has had plenty of time to destroy them. Irina Buxov? I tried to contact her, but I was rejected. She's incredibly mistrustful. It's a shame, because I think she knows a great deal about the Path of the Dragon.
Do you have her phone number? Who knows? Maybe I'll be luckier than you.
Do you think so? Possibly. You're a priest. That inspires trust. Call 445-827 in Budapest. But whenever you do, don't say you know me. Father, help me resume the task that Martha began. With a priest at my side, I'd feel stronger.
It's not so simple. You see, this affair is really not in my purview.
Okay. So now we are going to use a phone and call Boxao.
This is Arena Boxoff.
Hello, Professor. At the request of my hierarchy, I'm investigating the persistence of certain superstitions. You are an authority on questions of folklore and popular beliefs.
You flatter me. Let's say that I've had the good fortune to inherit the library of my predecessor, Professor Hermann von Bergen. But tell me, what exactly is your investigation focused on?
The belief in those imaginary creatures called vampires.
Vampires. You're interested in vampires.
Just to demystify them, the Catholic Church wants to fight this superstition.
I have serious reserves about getting into the subject. I am in great demand, you know. Could you be more precise about the framework in which you're conducting your inquiry?
I was entrusted with it by Monsignor Felicio Briganti of the Congregation of Rites. If need be, you can contact him by calling Vatican 63.
Your references are serious. I'll accept to help you, Father, but I don't trust the telephone. Could you visit me at my office in Budapest?
Certainly. As early as tomorrow, if it's all right with you.
Very good. I'll expect you.
Now we're gonna call the Vatican and talk to
This is Cardinal
Briganti.
Felicio Briganti.
This is Father Arno Moriani.
Your mission is delicate, Arno. It's difficult to accomplish without attending someone. But I have faith in you. You'll know how to act suitably.
Goodbye, Your Eminence.
Be well, Arno.
Okay, so now we need to request the opinion of a doctor or a scientist. So let's call. I can't call Professor Von Kruger. Let's try it. Okay, yeah, I can't call him. Let's go in here and talk to Stefan Luca. No new options.
Father, help me resume the task.
It's not so...
Let's see if Ozana... That was almost creepy. Is she at the front desk? No, she isn't. So she might still be upstairs, so let's go upstairs. Yeah, there she is. Okay. Let's see if she's got anything to say. No.
Tell me, Father, do you think Martha will be sanctified?
Do you mean canonized?
Yeah, that's it. I hope she'll be canonized. A saint and a pilgrimage. That's what Vladoviste is missing. That'd sure make people come, you know.
Okay. We're gonna exit the inn now. Alright, let's head to the train station. Alright, so this is Budapest, 8 a.m. day 3, and our next step is to consult a historian who is an expert on the myth. Continued type thing. But I think this video has gone on just a little.
This is not the time to leave.
So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. If y'all like it, please feel free to hit like, subscribe, share. Thank you so much for watching.